Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at Polkadot. We're going to be discussing whether we think that there is a potential low in place here now, and we're going to look to reverse, or whether there's more continuation to come. Okay, so let's get into the price action and discuss this. Primarily what we're looking for is further evidence that we have a low in place here at this 422 area. Now, what we'd want to see for that is basically confirmation by getting a bigger move up here towards this $12.02. Now, this would give us the structure of looking for this as a 1, 2, looking for this as a bigger third, fourth, and a fifth. So if we do hold this low here, at this area of this 526, we can look for this potential to extend to the upside here. Now, with that said, if we do actually break down one more time here, it is possible that this could be a more complex corrective structure from further back, and we could actually look to come back down into this lower range of this 786 here of this $4.72. Now, we really wouldn't want to lose this area. If we start to break down below this and consolidate, it becomes more likely we're going to lose this $4.22, and that could set us up for the more bearish options here. So I'm going to just flick over these quickly because it's been a while since we've discussed them. What we were discussing previously is the potential that we still have some bearish alternatives here where we have the possibility of a fourth wave here and looking for this as a fifth wave to the downside. Now, with this said, what we'd be looking for would be to actually start to break down here in a bigger way. It is possible this fourth wave could actually be over here if we're looking at this as a triangle. So we'll discuss this in a second. But now, the key zone here would be looking for a target range of between this 363 to this $2.86 area for a fifth wave with Polkadot. Now, this would mean that we'd start to break down from this area. It is also possible that we could actually be into a fourth wave from this zone. And what we could then see is that this is becoming a 1, 2. We're going to form another 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, get a fourth and a fifth. And this could look to bring us down in this way. Now, if this is the case, what we could see is this fifth wave down here. Now, we'd have to be cautious because there is a count where we do have the possibility of an additional third wave right here, which would mean that this whole move would be in this bigger third wave, and then we could see an additional fourth and a fifth. So we'd still have to be cautious if we do break down here. But if we just get three-wave move to the upside, we could see further continuation down. Now, the other alternative for this in the bearish standpoint would be looking at this move rather as a corrective structure where this is an X wave here. This would be our A wave to the downside. This is a B wave, and we're looking for this potential C wave to the downside, which could look to bring us towards this 344 at a 1-to-1. The 1-to-1 of the Z wave would actually be here at this $2.80. So somewhere between that zone would be a good area to target out, in my opinion. Now, okay, so if we do have a low here, what we are looking for is that continuation to the upside. So that would mean that we would want to see basically this move to the upside start to play out in a more bullish way. Now, we were discussing a couple of things last time we were looking at the chart. Basically, that was looking at this as a potential 1-2, 1-2. We actually came down here and crossed this low now, so that is no longer valid. Now, what I can say is there is still the potential that we could have this as an A. This is a flat correction, and then looking for a C wave to the upside. Now, the C wave target for this would be the $7.84 area, sorry, $7.28 area. Now, if this is a C wave, we could just look for a five-wave move to start to develop to the upside here. If, however, this is actually a wave 1, this could then become a wave 2, and what we could see is a push up towards this $8.57. Now, this would give us confirmation of a third wave length, but then we'd have to see confirmation come in by the actual finding of this fourth wave. So this fourth wave would potentially look to target out towards the $7.28 area, and then we'd be looking for that continuation to the upside again, where we form a bigger five-wave move here, where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, even if we do form a five-wave move like this, we'd have to be cautious because unless this move actually moves up towards this higher range here of this $12.26, this could still just be a bigger corrective move where this is A, we get a B wave, and then we get a C wave to the upside. So that 1-to-1 is this $8.70. So this is what I'm saying, even if we do move up here, we'd have to be a little bit cautious that this is not just a corrective structure. If we just have a three-wave move up like this, and then it starts to break down and it takes these lows, it becomes more likely that we're actually going to set a new low at this point because the structure for the bullish count would then start to fall apart at that point. So now this is what we need to be careful of if we do actually push to the upside. But really, I'm worried a little bit by this current structure we have to the downside here. Like I said, it could be a flat correction, in which case we could start to look to reverse to the upside here. but we need to be aware there is still the potential that we could see some continuation to the downside. I'm looking to target out some of these lower areas here of this 348 to this 472. So we were talking about this three-wave move in the as a possibility in the previous video, looking for this as an A, a B, then looking for this C wave to the upside. So we did come up into this red box and we got rejected. So now this could then mean that either we have a triangle in this area. So we're going to discuss that in a second. But basically, what we could have is either this is a completion of a triangle here, or alternatively, what we could have is that we have a bigger breakdown in this manner, where this is actually an A wave, this is a B wave, and then we're looking for this as a C wave to the downside. Now, if this is the case, what we could see is this could actually be WXY, in which case this could become an A wave, we get a B wave up and a C wave, which could look to bring us down to these zones. Or alternatively, this could become a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 and look to break down into this area. If we do get a five-wave move down, we'd have to be very careful because, like I said, this could actually indicate that, we're starting a move from here instead. And if we get a five-wave move down here, that could then become wave one. This could become wave two, and then we could get a deeper breakdown. So this is what we need to be cautious of within this current structure that we have here. So really, as long as we hold above this low, we can look for that potential to push up one more time for a C wave. But if we start to lose that, we need to be careful because once we start to lose this area here, so I don't actually have it on the chart here, so let me just put it in here. This area here, this 0.544, we need to be aware that once we start to lose this 786 area, it becomes less likely we're going to get that continuation up, and we'd have to start focusing on lower, in my opinion. And that would probably mean that we're going to see that lower target area of the of this basically breakdown, looking for this $4.57. Now that would also look to actually bring us back down potentially towards the zone of the 786. So that 1-to-1 would be below this. So potentially I'll be keeping an eye on this area, $4.72, if we do break down deeper here. Now, what we need to be careful of is, like I said, the possibility of actually having a five-wave move to the downside. And what this would be looking for is basically from further back here, either this is an A, a B, and looking for that C wave, or alternatively, if this does actually start to break down in a much deeper way, what I'd be looking out for is that potential to actually have a bigger five-wave structure, which could look to bring us down towards this $3.50 area. So we need to be careful of that fact if this does start to break down deeper. The 1-to-1, like I said, $4.56 off this current zone. Now, if we have a five-wave move that is still actually breaking down, what we could see is this. Now I'm actually going to come down here into the smaller time frame of the 1 hour. Now, I'm looking at this in much the same possibility as with BTC and ETH, looking for that potential that actually what we've done is complete further back here. And we could have this as an A wave, and we're still forming a B wave of a bigger move here, where this becomes A, this becomes B, and then we'd see a C wave push to the upside. Now, the typical area for this would be between this 598 to this 615 area, but I have also highlighted a higher push of this 2.618. Although these are rare, it would tie in a bit better with some of the structure here. If we did push up, basically the rejection zone I'd be looking for would be between this 621 to this 671. As long as we remain below this 671, we need to be cautious of continuation to the downside. So this is what we'd have to be careful of within the structure that we are currently forming here. There is still the potential that we could see a breakdown here. Now, this is looking for the possibility to push up again in a C wave. What I'd want to see is whether we actually, break back above this A wave here, and whether we actually maintain this zone of this $5.60. If we fail to maintain it, what I would be looking for is this $5.46. That would be, this is an A, this is a B, and then looking for this as a C wave to the downside. Also be looking out for the potential of a double bottom in this area. It could play out that we actually just come back down here and retest this low and then look to move up. Now the key thing here is if we get a five-wave move up, we have to watch the retracement. If we get a three-wave move, then potentially we can look to extend to the upside. If we get a five-wave move back against this, this could then actually mean that what this was A, B, C, and then now we're looking for a deeper correction. Now, that correction could either be in the sense of having this move play out as a 1-2, looking for a 3. We come down towards the zone of this $4.65. Now, if we do get a drop down here, this would give us confirmation of a bigger 5-wave structure here, where from the top here, we'd have to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 to the downside. Now, this potentially could look to take us down towards this zone here of this area of this $4.52 to this $4.32 range. Now, this would actually tie in to bring us back into this channel here, and would also tie into the idea of this one-to-one of this bigger move here as an A, a B, and then looking for this as a C. If, however, this does extend out and we break down past this low of this $4.22, then I would be looking out for that potential to actually break down deeper here towards this zone of this $3.50. And they would be looking for the possibility of having a deeper, a deeper move to the downside where, like I said, this is a 1, 2, 3, we'd get a fourth and a fifth, and that would actually look to take us towards that lower range we discussed earlier. But this is what I'm just looking out for here. This would fit in quite nicely to having a retest of this zone. The problem is, by coming this deep, if this is the case, what this would mean is it will be a very deep wave too. Now, this is possible. We'd have to just get further confirmation, though, by the moves to the upside. But already, if we do move down into these lower ranges here, we just have to be careful that this isn't going to start to break down. So really, we'd only get further confidence within the move once we start to break back above this high, because otherwise this could become 1, 2. We could get another move down here as a 5-wave move, and we could say that's ABC. We get a 3-wave move down up, but then what this could become is 1, 2, and then we have a much bigger move here to the downside that is actually still yet to unfold. So that's why we're going to have to be a little bit cautious within the structure here. Really, at the moment, until we actually break back above this zone of this 671, we need to be cautious of further continuation down. Now, the more direct way of this breaking down would actually be something like this, where instead of looking for this as a basically as an A, looking for a B and then a C wave, this could actually just be a completed wave 2, where this is 1, 2 here. Now, this would mean that we'd be looking for that potential to actually break down from this area directly, and that 1618 would be this 456 area. So what this would mean is that effectively within here we have a 1, 2 again, and then now we're starting to form some impulsive structure down. Now, this would only get confirmed by a deeper move here towards this zone of this $5.13. If we do break down like this, what I'd be looking for is fourth and a fifth. Now, this could look to take us down towards the zone of the $5.05 to this 492 area. Now, this is provided there isn't further extension. If there is further extension in here, which it does look like there is given the current structure we have here. So what I mean is that if this was an additional 1, 2 here, this would then mean that basically this third wave would actually push down deeper than it currently would be here. So we'd have to be careful of that, which would mean that, instead of possibly, this third wave coming to this 1618, what we could see is rather something like this, where it actually extends out towards the 2618, in which case we'd have a much bigger move here. This would actually tie into a direct sell-off possibly, for this being a 1 and a 2, where this would be another 1, 2. And then basically this would mean that this move starts to extend out deeper here. And, then we would have to look at those lower targets at this 422 area would be less likely to hold if we start to extend out like this to the downside. Though once again, we need to be cautious coming into this channel, because what it could also be is if we do get a 5-wave move down here like this, even if it does extend out towards this lower range of this 2618, what it could just be is that within this structure here we have A, B, and C. And then that would just mean that from the high here, we have a W, an X, and a Y. So really, as long as this zone of this $4.22 holds, we can look for that potential to push to the upside. But once we start to get down into those lower areas, we need to be very careful that it doesn't just start to break apart at that point. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also, in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.